NBA Jerry, what's going on, bro?
None too much, man. How you doing?
I'm alright. I want to talk to you today about something, man. This is something you hear not that often, but on occasion people like to bring up this topic. It's who is the greatest NBA player to never win a championship? You know, when people bring up this question, you got guys like Karl Malone, you got John Stockton, you got Charles Barkley, you got Sean Kemp, Reggie Miller, Elgin Baylor, Chris Webber. Who else did I not mention? Huh?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Malone, Stockton, Baylor, Barkley, Miller, Chris Webber, Sean Kemp, and possibly one other guy that I forgot to mention. But anyways, to me, there's almost no question about it that it has to be Karl the Mailman Malone, despite the fact that he does not deliver on Sundays, correct? As Scottie Pippen loved to tell him, what was that, 97 Finals Game 1, when he missed the two clutch free throws? And then that guy right there comes with a dagger game-winning shot over B-Russ, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Marv Albert would love to say, here is Jordan, down to 1. And it's all over. I'm not going to go into the whole theatrical, but yeah, to me, there's no question about that. It's Karl the Mailman. You know, this guy has to be this guy has to be the anointed greatest player to never win a championship. Now, the biggest reason being not just because he's a second all-time in career points, but this guy is undoubtedly the most durable player that has never won a championship. I mean, keep in mind, this guy played 11 seasons. This guy played all 82 games for 11 seasons. And he played another 6 seasons with 81 games. You know, not to mention, this guy also averaged a double-double, 25 points, 10.1 boards, 3.5 assists. That's pretty darn good, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah, that's great, man. Karl Malone is...
I mean, it's just so unfortunate that this guy had to retire not only in street clothes at the end of the 2004 Finals Game 5, but he also had to retire with no championships. I mean, that's just so unfortunate to me. I mean, man, I don't know, dude. What's your take on this? Do you agree on that? Do you dispute that? Or what?
Well, I agree it's Karl Malone, but I don't put, like we were talking about off camera, I don't put Sean Kemp and Chris Webber on my list. They're great players. You know, they're franchise players for their respective franchises. But, you know, when I talk about greatest players never win a championship, now, folks, we're talking about players that are retired and are no longer playing. I start off with the 50 greatest player list. So, a lot of people think Elgin Baylor could have been the greatest player. Now, remember, I don't know if you guys, this was a long time ago, but Elgin Baylor retired the season the Lakers won with Jerry West and Will Chamberlain. So he was almost a champion.
72 seasons.
Yeah, when they won those 33 games in a row. He retired that year because I guess he was getting tired of getting beat by the Boston Celtics. But, you know, players like Reggie Miller, same team for 18 years, the Chuckster, round mound of rebound, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, you know, wasn't for Jordan, he might have got a 1 or 2. You know, obviously John Stockton, you can argue him, he played 19 seasons too. You know, all-time leader in steals, all-time leader in assists, and it's not even close. I don't think anybody will break that. And then you got the mailman, Karl Malone, you know. Karl Malone is probably number 1 on my list. You can argue Elgin Baylor and John Stockton. You know, Barkley's a great player. Like I said, Reggie Miller too. But when it comes down to it, Karl Malone's durability, I mean, this guy was a freight train. He can shoot jumpers. He can post up, shoot free throws, except on Sundays. the man can do everything. So Karl Malone is definitely Karl Malone is definitely
Except on Sundays.
yeah, Karl Malone is definitely number one on my list. So we're just doing this to see what do you guys think? That's what we think. Karl Malone's number one, but it's definitely an interesting topic. We also wanted to talk about the greatest tandems that never won a championship. So what do you think about that, 2-3?
The greatest 1-2 punch to never win a championship.
Yep.
Now, Jerry, to me, I don't know if you agree on this or if you dispute this, but it's almost undoubtable that the greatest 1-2 punch to ever play the game was John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you agree on that or if you dispute that, but that's just me. So
the greatest 1-2 punch to never win, or the greatest 1-2 punch, period?
Greatest 1-2 punch to never win.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's not even close. I mean, when you got the two players on the list of the top 5 that never won, and they're on the same team, I mean, that's obvious that that those guys. But when you talk about tandems, you can mix it up a little bit, because I understand some of the tandems that played together might not have won together, but they may have broke up or went to another team and won. Like, for instance, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. When they were together in Seattle, those two dudes were the Rain Man and the Glove. Oh my, they were ridiculous together. Yeah, he just threw it up there, and they were ridiculous together. You got Tim Hardaway and Chris Mullin, or Tim Hardaway and with the Run TMC, yeah, Mitch Richmond, those 3 guys.
Oh.
Yeah, so any of those two. Then you got Divox and Weber, or Bibby or Weber, or heck, even White Chocolate and Weber. Who knows? I don't know. But there's a lot of good tandems. What do you think, man? What are your tandems?
I don't really have like a list, but there's no question about it that there's no question that Stockton and Malone are the greatest tandems to never win a championship. If I had to think of another tandem, I would definitely go with, despite the fact that Peyton won in 2006 with the Heat, I would just include Peyton and Kemp, and also Divac and C-Web.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay. How about Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning? Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. Patrick Ewing and
LJ.
Yeah. Patrick Ewing and whoever he played with.
John Starks?
Yeah. There's so many of them. And that's why we made this video. We want to discuss it, have a discussion here in the comment section. We love, and I love, and I know 2-3 loves to read the comments. So we want you guys to leave the comments below. Let us know who is the number one greatest player to ever not win a championship. Who is your top 5 players in order to not win a championship? And who are the greatest tandems to not win a championship?
And Jerry, must I add, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be somebody in the comment box saying that it's Elgin Baylor. Reason being because he still holds the record even after 50 years of having the most points in the NBA Finals with 61 points. All right. Still to this day, after 50 years, after a half century, no player has ever ever broken Elgin Baylor's 61-point game in the NBA, championship stage. Still, no players have ever done that, which to me is pretty darn incredible. I mean,
not even MJ.
Not even MJ. MJ, the most MJ ever scored in the finals was a double nickel, right? 93 finals, game 4 at home against the Suns.
Yep.
Right, so that's pretty darn good. And as good as that is, I'm sorry to whoever puts Baylor on their list as the greatest player to never take a championship, but that does not qualify. I'm sorry, that itself is not enough for me personally to put him as the greatest player to never get a championship. You know, that does not beat what Carl the mailman has done, honestly.
Yeah.
Then again, that's just me. I'm sure Jerry agrees. If you do, great. If you don't, then whatever. No, I'm kidding.
But it's all good, man. Just let us know. That's his list. You know, he thinks, Karl Malone's the greatest. I do too. And I think John Stockton and Karl Malone are the 1-2 tandem. So, let us know what you guys think. Who is the greatest? Not to win it. Greatest tandem. Let me know what you guys think. All right. And I haven't done this on camera in a while, so I want to tell you guys something. I'm going to give you a positive thought of the day real quick. I haven't done this in a while. First of all, I want you guys to understand that, and I always say this in the videos, you can be, have, or do whatever you want. If you can believe it, you can do it and stuff like that. I don't say that stuff to you just to be talking and stuff like that. I really mean that. I was talking to a young man yesterday, and I asked him, I said, what are you doing tomorrow, man? He said, nothing. And I said, nothing. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say your name. And he said, nothing. I said, you're not doing anything. Every single day you want to strive for something, whatever it is. You got to choose what you want to do. And whatever it is, every single day, do something to get closer to that. If you're a young guy, you want to go to the NBA, or you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever you want to do, you can do it. All right. But do something today that your future self will thank you for. And I promise you, you won't regret it. And you'll be, even if you're inching your way closer to it, you'll get there. Okay, guys? Thank you. Appreciate it. You got anything to say?
Nothing much, bro. Thanks for, being on my channel and whatnot, bro. Highly appreciate it.
No problem. You guys take care. Leave the comments below. Let us know what you guys think, all right? Peace.